Sure. All right, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to the January 20th, 2026 Health and Human Services Committee meeting. Before we start, we have a new committee member and supervisor. Would you mind standing up and introducing yourself?
Hi, everybody. Sonia Oken, representing Third Ward. Michael Schmid old position, so happy to be here.
Welcome. Thanks. All right, well, thank you for joining us. You'll meet the luminaries of this committee in succession as we go through, and we'll start with you, Director Grandinetti.
Just go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So a couple of things to report to the committee. The commission and I attended a couple different kind of town hall type of voice for youth type of programs at the library, at the Spark of Hudson. It's pretty informative and working towards youth programs. That's one thing. I'm not sure if I reported this, but in October, we had the Greenport Rescue Squad report to our committee at our monthly meeting. And so the committee got a chance to hear what they're doing with their mentorship program and trying to bring more EMTs in. So we were able to support them through our youth development prevention funds. I was asked to join the Columbia County Threat Assessment Management Team. So I'm going to meet them quarterly. I shouldn't say quarterly, but the last Thursday of each month they meet out, and ironic, Grandinetti Drive at Keeler, at the Keeler building. So pretty interesting. I attended the 3-day Youth Bureau Conference in Albany. Again, it was more about, how do we do our processing forms and making sure that we get our RAP completed, those type of things. Attended the Operation Night Gala. Obviously, they're one of the programs that we sponsor through our youth development program. One thing that the commissioner and I have been able to do, which I met last week with the youth center, is we're going to try to bring Roz's dance class into kind of, I don't want to say the inner city, but giving kids opportunities to dance that normally probably wouldn't get the opportunity for financial reasons. And they're pretty excited. And the youth center is pretty excited about it as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I can't take credit for it because it's the funding from the commission, but it works out pretty good because now we have the Middlesbrough Circus, we have the boxing program, and we have this program. So it's allowing different type of activities for the kids. Working through Cornell Comfort Extension, they've done this thing through, it's called their healthy cooking class. So we were able to choose Morse Memorial and the Hudson Youth Center because they have the room, the capacity to handle 12 different mixers at one time. So they taught the kids how to make healthy smoothies, and each kid got to take home a blender.
Oh,
Cool. So
it was at the Morris. And was the other one?
it was in Hudson Youth Center.
Okay.
This month's going to be at the Morse Memorial.
Okay.
So they were able to do 2. Our MOUs are in progress. Our RAP has been approved. Our parents of safe driving partners. I have the. So total this year was 464 youth signed a contract with their parents over at the county clerk's office with the DMV. Says that they can turn. Let's see. So tomorrow night is our Columbia County Youth Advisory Board meeting. Our next board meeting is going to be, and I'll put it up to you folks too if you want to join. We're going to have it at the in Ghent at the High and Mighty program, the horse program. So if anybody wants to attend, we're going to hold a meeting there and see their program. So that's one of the things we're going to do there. Our youth leadership banquet is underway. I've been working with Sherry, and we have our committee. So May 20th, hopefully everybody can make it again, and we're excited about that. And that's about it. If you have any questions.
That's a lot.
Any questions for the director?
Do we know, I know I've asked you this, do we know if there's going to be any SWIMS funding for 2026?
I've asked that. The last time I asked it, they appeared to say yes, but I haven't not received anything yet. But I did just work with Jim Bragg upstairs to make sure that we got our work in to make sure that we get refunded for
Okay.
what we paid out to the tenants. But I will check again, but there hasn't not sent anything yet.
Any other questions? I would like to know the one thing you talked about with the Cornell nutritious cooking program. I wanted to thank obviously the Board of Supervisors and Chairman Morrell for helping Cornell through ARPA funds with
Yes,
that, with that
yes.
program. So I'd like to recognize that. All right, thank you very much, Director. We really appreciate it. Up next, Commissioner Gibson, Social Services.
New year, everyone. Several requests, this afternoon. The first is to request, a request to fill 2 social welfare examiner positions.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
The second request is to fill 1 part-time transportation aide position.
I'll move that.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
The third request is to fill 1 part-time assistant social services attorney position.
I'll move it.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
That was an emergency fill. The fourth is a request to fill 1 senior caseworker position.
Move it.
Do I have a second? Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And the fifth and final is a request, earlier authorization to fill 1 social welfare examiner position on 1/24/26 instead of the authorized date of 2/23/26. The emergency fill was signed by the chairman. We had a senior social welfare examiner, returned back to her social welfare examiner position, and we're quite struggling right now.
Move that, I will.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Aside from the numbers that you see, and I'm happy to answer any questions there. A little concerned right now because New York was one of 4 states that. What's that?
7 states that you're talking on that one?
Well, actually, what I'm getting into is, New York is one of the states that has been chosen by the federal government to be put under a microscope, on a few of pretty important, funding programs, and there's a lot of federal funding. Now, I will tell you right now, everything, it's all business as usual. But I've got my folks doing some things that, so there's a lot of things that get audited in these programs. I'll use daycare as one example, where you have to take down a lot of information. That the days of attendance, and where it was, and that's paperwork that the state decided that it didn't need.
Okay. I have several resolutions for you all this evening. One with the word grant in it, so get ready. The first one is to contract with Donna Birdie to provide certified Zumba for our respite pilot program.
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I should probably abstain from this, as Don is almost a sister-in-law to me, so, I
But
certainly approve of it, but I just.
you'll come participate in
Yeah.
it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you. The next one is to contract with Family Advocates, who was our previous legal services provider, just to finish out one final eviction matter.
I'll move it.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Next, we've got a new contract with a new provider, Life Station, to provide PERS, personal emergency response systems. You'll see here, they offer us more for less compared to what we currently have. So I think this opens up a lot more opportunity to provide it to more folks, because right now we are only able to offer PERS units to people enrolled in our ISEP program. This would be able to open the door to more folks. Like a,
Do I have a second?
like a-
Further discussion? How many more folks in the county will this open it up to? Any idea? Or?
I can't do math that quickly.
Well, you said you were on a sugar kick, so sometimes that augments
No,
mathematical.
share, I'm gonna share.
Oh, I see sugar.
Very different, although she does energize me. I can't remember what our current contract is because it's been just stagnant for so long. But I know when we were looking at it, the whole team was really excited about, I mean, this also offers us the GPS and the cellular options. So this is, someone could leave their home and still have the button on and use it if they fall at the store,
Oh, very
which
nice.
is not currently available with our current contract. So
And do they contract for each of these services or do they pick from the menu?
it would, if they pick from the menu.
So the maximum exposure we have would be 1,200 a year per person, right? Because it's 100 a month times 12 months would be 1,200 a year.
If you're doing the math. That's
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Oh, one thing I wanted to bring up. In this contract that they sent us, it has a 5-year term. Do you want me to ask them to change that to a 4-year term based on how the,
Yes, county attorney.
okay. That's what I know them that. Thank you.
Usually you don't want to bond the future board.
Right, that's what I figured. And we've gone back and forth on this contract a couple times, so I think they should be okay with making that change. Yes, next, because I have it highlighted on here, it's not highlighted on there. I have 2 contracts for ISEP services. This is the personal care services in home. This is for when we contract out, when our full-time aides are at max, which we are currently, and I'll go over my quarter report and our wait list in a moment. These are 2 agencies that we've previously contracted with many times. I should have brought this forward at the November meeting, but forgot about it because we don't have anybody on these
This is budget.
contracted out. Yes, contracted out at the moment, but we like to keep them just in case.
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And these are the vendors that tend not to go to the northeast or the southeast because it's too far away.
Yeah.
They
All
don't, they
the
don't pay
vendors.
travel time.
Right. All the vendors really stick to mostly the Hudson area, which is
Right.
why we try to go use from our own internal aides first, but these are, you know, if we have somebody that we run it past them every time.
Okay.
So that's unlimited and anytime. And then the next resolution is to contract with Linda Shear as a consultant
Yes.
for the caregiver coordinator position with the respite pilot, which reminds me, I have updates for the 2 of you. Our current caregiver coordinator does not have a set date as of yet, but she is planning to move out of the state. So we want to bring Linda on to work on the rest of the process together, kind of get this person started, and then Linda will actually have more availability than our current caregiver coordinator, which gives us a little more flexibility when scheduling days of operation. So I think this will be a very good thing. We'll hate to see Michelle go. I've already heard about it once, but I think it'll be really good. She's really excited.
I'll
Big
move it.
shoes to fill, but Linda is truly dynamic and
Yeah, and they work well together. So I
And the
think,
seniors love her, Linda. They love Michelle too, but they've had more exposure to Linda, I think, over the last few years.
I think you're gonna need the second because we had a very enthusiastic first.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that was Brenda's first. She said yes, but.
I thought you did, but then I forgot. I didn't.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I thought you were just saying yes.
Yeah, they have. Well,
um,
couldn't control my
Okay. All right.
happiness.
yes, I'm very excited that Linda agreed to take on that role. We also have another contract for the respite program. This is Stephanie Gaylord to provide chair yoga therapy. So chair yoga therapy versus chair yoga, for anyone who's not familiar, is more kind of built around folks with specific needs, brain injuries, osteoporosis, arthritis, specific medical needs versus just regular old yoga or chair yoga. It's a little more specified.
Second.
How does that $900 play out? I'm just curious.
We would break it down to $50 per session.
$50 per session. Okay.
So she's not necessarily locked in to do a session every time the respite center is open or at every location.
So it
But
may not, not to see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So between the chair yoga
Yep.
and the Zumba, we're gonna try to offer something each day.
Any further discussion? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
And my last resolution has the word grant in it. This is, well, actually, is it in there? I don't think it is in there, but it is a grant
It does say
from,
grant
okay,
in the
good,
first
yes.
line.
From Assemblymember Dee Dee Barrett in support of the respite pilot program. It comes through via New York State Office for the
I'll
Aging
move
for
Second.
15,000.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I think those are all my resolutions, which brings for 2025. One thing I want to point out on here is an error under emergency heating. I copied that box and didn't change the number. So the number for emergency heating assistance fund applications, folks that we have assisted since December 27th, there's 13 requests that came through. We spent $4,853. We've got 285,000 and some change remaining. It seems to be working really well. And there was someone yesterday that we spoke to at the Martin Luther King breakfast, who we actually connected with today. So we're going to be able to hopefully help her out as well. So that'll be up to 14, but it's not 264. Just so you know, not yet at least. What else on here? The personal care wait list. As of when I submitted this number, we had a couple more intakes come through, and we're actually up to 7 on the wait list. So we've got one individual who has gone into rehab for an injury. So she is technically on the wait list, but I wouldn't count her just yet because she's not sitting at home waiting. We're holding that spot for when she comes back. The other was 6 math, are all really based on location. We've got a Copake, Taconic, and then 4 Chathams. And our full-time aides are booked up right now. We don't have any openings. And then the 2 contractors that we contract with are not interested or are not able to take on those at the moment. So we've got 7 waiting. We also have 3 on the wait list for the respite center. We've got a Chatham, a Canaan, and an Austerlitz. So I think that's exciting. 3 of the folks on our wait list for personal care are respite services. So, and 1 of them lives in Chatham. So I think when that respite center opens, that may be able to provide them some service in the meantime. In addition to Linda coming on as a caregiver coordinator, we've also started to reach out to, we sent an email just to put feelers out to the Columbia County Library Association to see if any of them would be interested in becoming additional locations now that Linda's availability opens up a little bit more. I think 4 of them wrote back and said, we'd love to learn more about this and talk about it. So we've got a meeting scheduled, I think next week or the following week. So that includes the lower portion of the county. So that may assist with some of the wait list. I mean, it's not going to take the in-home services need away, but it's better than nothing, hopefully.
And what's our staffing like? I think we only had 2 full-time and 1 part-time in November. Where are we on the ones that we employ?
For personal care aides,
Yes.
we've got 2 full-time aides and 1 per diem aide who takes on, I think 3 or 4 of her own clients each week.
And what did we budget for? Didn't we budget for 4?
I think it was, oh boy, I think it was 2 full-time and 2 per diem. So I think we have the
So we can go to
ability
the
for
market.
another per diem,
Yeah, okay,
but we haven't found any interest, when we posted for it.
okay.
But we could post again. That's not a bad idea. per diem positions I find are hard to fill.
Well, is there ever not a need for a third person?
For full-time. I think that we are now seeing that we
I
could
was just curious.
fill that, and I also think the more we get the word out there that we have in-home supports, the need, I think, is there. I think a
It's
lot
just
of people,
advertising.
yeah, aren't aware of it. I think a lot of people aren't always comfortable asking for a stranger to come into their home. So it takes, I mean, I myself have gone into homes to sit down with older adults just to have the conversation, answer their questions, let them know it's not as scary as it seems. You're not necessarily losing your independence. This is actually to help you maintain your independence as much as you can.
Just to follow up Rob's question, would the salary for 2 per diems equal 1 full-time?
So here's that math thing
Budget
again.
line?
I don't think so because of the
Benefits.
Okay,
Probably
which
not.
is,
Conversation for 27.
yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
But I mean, we'll do a post for per diem aid. I think because we're able to have a pool, I wouldn't have to bring that through point one, right? Or I'll look into that.
Do you have a pool? You have a pool,
We have
right?
one.
Right.
But I think
So
the
you can
resolution
know-
was a pool, because I posted it a couple of times.
Right, if it's a pool, that's fine.
Okay,
You just tell it.
so then I'll just put that through and post it. We'll see what we can,
What are we up to paying per hour?
it just,
This is another math question.
yeah, I bring a binder full of stuff. Trying to predict what you're gonna ask me, and it's never right. It just went up. The grade just went up with this budget.
You know, it's everything.
I want to say it's 11A, but I'm not
We
confident.
can look it up.
Okay, I'm just curious. I remember when we raised it, it helped and just curious where it is at this
Yeah.
point.
And we
I'll
also
look it
went
up.
to paying them for travel time, which was the competitive piece.
Yeah.
And the two that we've got are great. That's how we got this per diem.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll put the per diem out and then we'll look at more.
Thank you.
So for the next meeting, all numbers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bring it
I'll
back.
bring it back.
Calculator.
And then we'll ask you about the philosophy.
Right, you know, past 5 years.
All right, any further questions for Director Benvenuto? Anything further from the committee on all things health and human services? Anything from the public? There being none, I'm gonna ask for a motion to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you, everybody.
Okay, I'd like to call the January 2026 Public Safety Committee meeting to order. Before we begin, I'd like to welcome Colleen Lutz, who's on our new supervisor and on our committee. Welcome. First up is Public Defender.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I have a few resolution requests. First, it's a personnel resolution requesting permission to fill a position of an assistant public defender, which became vacant on January 3rd, 2026, due to the resignation of a former assistant public defender.
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Thank you. Secondly, I'm requesting permission to move one full-time assistant public defender into the second assistant public defender position that was left vacant due to the recent resignation, what I had just referred to in the prior resolution. And that would be an increase of $15,000 salary based on his role as in the deputy role.
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
And then I have a general resolution request to accept the.
Move it.
Sorry. I knew that would be quick.
All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
Very good.
Two more next.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Probation.
Good evening.
I can believe I was shocked you said 2 grants. All right, first one up,
There you go.
authorization to accept a grant.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
And the authorization. Move it.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well said.
Yep. They like grants.
Fire coordinator.
How we doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, there's George.
What's that?
Yeah, he's in Florida.
What?
I got the report for.
Oh, do you want to go over the report first? Hold on. There we go.
Okay, so. For the year of 2025, we had 91 emergency responses, 3 hazmat, 8 CNO. Training facility usage for the tower was 380 hours. Classroom was 7,225 training hours. Questar has used the facility for 190 hours. Affiliated or related meetings was 62, and physicals year to date was 255. 20 classes held for the county with 450 students attending. That includes 43 that completed basic exterior fire operations, and all are new firefighters. 24 who completed interior fire.
Excellent.
Great.
And for the request, it is to appoint the following active firefighters to the county fast team: Darren Stockman of Melville, Marcus Hines, Justin Taylor, and Rodney Pulver, all from Hudson Fire Department.
Move it. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sheriff. Welcome. How are you? Good.
A few resolutions, a couple of them were passed by emergency, Phil. They were effective date of January 1st. First one's the position of undersheriff, which is a budget position.
Move it. All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
The second one was the law enforcement captain, which again was an emergency fill effective 1/1 of 26.
Move it. All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
The third one of those was the law enforcement senior investigator. Again, emergency fill effective 1/1 of 26.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Then I have one to fill a law enforcement sergeant effective 2/21 of 2026. That's to backfill my position.
Move it. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
And lastly is to fill a vacant budgeted corporal corrections position.
Move it.
Second? All in favor?
Richard seconded.
Opposed? So carried.
Keeping up, Kelly.
Out of county inmate report, for December, Franklin County, we had $1,980. Greene County, $10,875. Total for December was $12,855, and the total for the year was $202,100.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
CMS. Mr. Keeler.
Back row seat.
Yeah.
Okay, every 2 years, Columbia County has to renew the certificate of need with New York State for providing EMS services. So that we go through this every 2 years. So this resolution request is to renew the contracts with the 4 agencies that are out there. We have to have them sign that. That has to go in with the renewal request.
Move it. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
The other one is just supporting information. The governor signed legislation in December, now making the counties are now responsible for developing and maintaining a comprehensive county emergency EMS system. So there's a lot more to it. Supposedly, the original plan was that we'd have 6 months to get this up and going. I can tell you, as I sit here, we are well ahead of that. With our plan that's in place right now. While one of the things that the legislation depicts is that the county has to have a formalized committee to oversee and work with this EMS services, of which the chairman is already appointed, so we're ahead of that as well. I think the plan that we have is probably going to be sufficient to work with the state However, they are requesting what else we need to enhance the plan. So hopefully, as our committee with the Board of Supervisors moves along and identifies some of the weaknesses, we can also put them in the plan and move forward. And as usual, there's no funding with this mandate.
Right, but we were waiting on, I forgot what at this point, because we're due for another meeting, aren't we?
Yeah. Supervisor Adams and,
Squad interviews.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So we're not done yet. So maybe sometime in the end of February or something, we can get together. Okay,
super. That's it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Emergency management, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Chairman. That canned apples, delicious. I have one, resolution request to allow the chairman of the Board of Supervisors to sign an MOU that, enters into an agreement with Ulster County. I come to the committee late last year to talk about our unique, position where we can actually piggyback on a program that they already have, that would cost us only a fraction of what it would if we had to go out and get it ourselves, the whole program. I did get the MOU. I have talked to Jim Brigg, and I haven't submitted the MOU to the county attorney yet. This would all be pending approval by the county attorney, and if the chairman is happy with it. But usually the county attorney wants to know if we started the resolution process.
Right.
So I'm waiting to see if you would approve that, that resolution.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
Thank you. We had our, it's supposed to happen every 3 years, but it happened almost 5 years. From the last time we were assessed, we had the New York State County Emergency Preparedness Assessment. They go to every county, they bring in a group, it's a day-long process, and it involves law enforcement, all emergency services, even DOTs and everything, and we go through a question and answer period that compares us to how we were prepared. It's supposed to be 3 years ago, it was 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago this time, because they did the program over, but it's not a pass-fail, but we've been told that we did very good. We're actually better off than we were in many of the categories. We did not go backwards in any of the categories, so I'm happy with it. There's always work that can be done, so we'll continue to work on that, but
Thank you.
that's a good thing. Update on the Columbia County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan. Our grant period has ended for that. We only have one town that hasn't done the resolution yet, which they're working on. So we'll actually be 100% soon. And that's another good thing. It's been a long process. One thing that they did change is once you have that resolution, you are eligible for grant funding. So they didn't wait until it was 100% like they have in previous years. It's something that they changed. So if you have an issue, you want to apply for a brick grant or one of the other grants that is listed under that, you can go ahead and do it. You're eligible once you pass that resolution. Also, the Columbia County Fed Assessment and Management Team, as you know, Sheriff Kraft retired, and we have a new sheriff, Sheriff Salvatore. I reached out to her to see if she would be interested in co-leading the team as Sheriff Kraft did. She said she absolutely would. I reached out to the chairman. He said yes, he would absolutely appoint her. So that's happening. I'm just letting you know. She's going to co-lead the team. Actually, because she already has.
Is that a
started.
chair appointment or is that a resolution?
I'm sorry, what?
Is that a resolution or a chair
No, I
appointment?
don't think we did a resolution. The chairman can appoint committees.
From the
right?
chair,
And
well, yeah.
I could do one if you need.
No, I'll
one,
find out what we need, you know,
Okay.
what we did last time.
I don't think we did with the sheriff, but Sheriff Kraft. Anyway, we'll put her to work anyway.
There we go. With or without a
Her
resolution.
expertise, yeah. Then we have the annual, NYSEMA, New York State Emergency Management Association, conference in Syracuse. It's a good conference. It's always, well attended. It's packed and they have good speakers and good training. So, a couple of us will be going to that.
Great. Any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
911.
Sure.
Hello there.
A couple of resolutions. The first two are grants, so that shouldn't be difficult. Resolution requests authorizing the extension of budgets for the 911 grants that are current.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
The second resolution is for Rob Lopez. It's the same thing, but it's for EMO grants.
Good job.
All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
And the third is a personnel resolution, request to fill one vacant emergency dispatcher one, which is a shift supervisor position by promotion.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
And the last is to extend the existing contract with 911 consultant Rob Lopez by 6 months until June 30th.
Second? All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
Go ahead.
But just a quick, I was at a holiday party and one of the guests fell down and whatever, they needed an ambulance. So I just want to tell you that the person that answered the phone at 911 was fantastic. He was professional, he was courteous, he was spot on every bit of it. And I just listened on the speakerphone. I just happened to be there, told them who'd call, but just wanted to commend you and your team.
I appreciate that. I'll pass that along.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Anything from the committee? Anything from the public?
Can I?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I don't think I was on the agenda.
You're not, but anyway, absolutely. Come on up.
I realized about 20 minutes before this meeting that I hadn't submitted the forms with respect to personnel. So I have first of all, good afternoon. Good evening. I have an emergency fill request, which I just sent Kelly the forms, like 10 minutes ago by email. I know that it was discussed previously and I have the forms here.
It went through point one?
Yes, yes. And so that was discussed then and then
Okay.
just didn't go in ahead of time, but this is for a part-time assistant district attorney. She's highly experienced, especially in the financial crimes realm. We're really excited to get her in and we asked for the emergency fill because if we don't get her in quickly, we may lose her to another DA's office. And this is a budgeted position that is currently unfilled. Okay.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Do you have the form, the
I do.
emergency fill? Do you want to give it to
Yeah,
the chairman? He
give
can
it,
sign
of
it.
So I got the resolution requests and then I have the,
Sorry, I didn't see your email. I was in Health and Human Services. I'm like,
no, you're fine. I literally, at like half hour before the meeting, I was like, oh,
oh.
I don't have the forms. Is that the right form?
Salary. Yeah, I can just sign right here.
Okay.
You can send that into HR with your MSD 426 to get her.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Questions from the committee?
I do have a question. Where do we leave off with the bus?
I just asked Matt that question. We have committee, right? That we're gonna talk about it because we have some questions with the DA's office, and we have some questions just in general with the county attorney's office. So it's funny you asked that. I asked him the same question. So we're gonna have to get back on that. It was basically about prosecuting the tickets and where the DA's office stood on that. If it was where the cameras picked it up, and as opposed to going through this whole thing of putting in new cameras, which the buses already have cameras, we wanted to see sort of where we were at with that.
Do you want to speak on that?
Yeah, that'd be great. Come on up. Thank you.
So the question being whether we would prosecute, like camera tickets?
Correct. And what is the stance on that? What's the legal?
Yeah, so my understanding of the legality of this
Position.
is that you can't charge a violation or a crime for a camera ticket because you can't have there's no witness to say who was operating the vehicle. When they're doing this in the city of Albany right now, they're doing operator fees, the fines, and those are handled by the civil side of the administration, not handled by the district attorney's office. So it would not be something that I would anticipate that we would be able to handle. I'm not sure we would have jurisdiction. And I think normally in these cases, in these types of schemes, it's a civil enforcement scheme as opposed to a criminal enforcement.
So they're actually charging the vehiget, the registered owner of the vehicle.
Yes, they're going after the owner of the vehicle for allowing the vehicle to be operated in this way, but you can't get operation.
Right, so whether we had bus patrol or what we currently have, it wouldn't change.
Whether it's a bus patrol or.
Bus patrol is, or what we currently have, which every district has cameras on there.
Right.
It's just and pretty elaborate camera system. So we were trying to see if because of the cost, if it would really make any difference. And what you're saying is no. And then the issue with the county attorney was, I think it was from Dutchess County and Rensselaer County. In those instances, what happens?
Yeah, for example, some of the southern town, could they piggyback on Dutchess County? And like New Lebanon, could they piggyback on Rensselaer County? Because they both have bus patrol, I believe.
So, yeah, like I'm willing to help.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
But that is my understanding without having done deep research into the area, is that it would not be something that my office would be able to handle. And as you know, we don't do traffic tickets at all. We've designated those to the individual law enforcement agencies as it is.
Oh, are you back to the law enforcement agencies are going to the courts?
Yeah, so we still have the online plea bargaining system, which has worked really well. We revamped it a bit to make it easier for people to understand and use, and it seems to be working well in the courts. We've gotten good feedback from the courts. But as far as the negotiation and prosecution of tickets, so Mr. Chaika never prosecuted the tickets, and neither did we. We would negotiate sometimes in court. Every once in a while, we'll negotiate in court if there's a huge problem the judge asks us to. But overall, it's the law enforcement agency that does the prosecution of the ticket.
So, yeah, so back to so they're not going to be in court for the initial ticket, correct? It would be if someone pleads not guilty and they request a trial, then the law enforcement officer would show up in court and they would do a bench trial in front of the judge. Kind of how it used to be.
Yes.
Except it used to be where all of the law enforcement would show up in court and there'd be 15 police officers standing there in case there was a trial. It would go to trial. And that was before, that was when Beth, I think, Pasolino was the DA's, how it was done. And then Chaika changed it too, so.
Kind of back. You know, the great majority of people never have to come back to court because they can use the online system and plea by mail. And I've also let each town know that if they would like to, I'm happy to delegate to their town attorney, to whoever they choose, the authority to prosecute traffic violations. So town of Claverick has taken me up on that. Town of Taconic is doing that, and the town of Greenport has done that.
Yeah, and a lot of towns don't have an attorney to do the prosecution end of it. I know my town doesn't, so that would be a whole different discussion, but okay.
Yeah, and anytime you got a question.
Yeah,
of course. Happy to talk.
Thank you.
Well, Mike, I got a question, couple questions. So talking about speeding tickets and stuff like that, let's say we saw in our call where they're settling with somebody doing 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And we still settle with that and we don't prosecute for something. Isn't there a certain range over the speed limit that you're supposed to?
Well, so within the office, this is for non-delegated pleas. So if you come to the, if you use the online system, it's generally going to be, it tracks the VTL, the rubric that we use in order to make reduction offers. And, if you're 20 miles an hour over, then you're likely going to get an offer of a parking ticket. If you're more than that, then you're going to get an offer of a speeding ticket with 3 points. Right. And it goes up like that. Normally, no. If somebody's going 90 miles an hour, I would not offer them, or my office would not offer them. We might offer them a plea, but it would not be to no points.
No points.
Which is what everybody wants. The town attorneys that I've delegated authority to have full authority to negotiate as they see fit. I assume they're going to be responsible to, responsive to their towns, more so than even we would be, because they're going to be talking to the supervisor, et cetera.
Okay, so we'll talk on that. The other question, I think earlier you said something, we were talking about the buses, what I'm saying, the cameras on the buses.
Yeah.
And you're saying that right now they can prosecute by going by the license number? That's all they can go after?
Well, no, so you need, in order to prosecute it, like under the VTL, you're going to need a witness who is able to say, if the bus driver is able to say this person was driving the car, then you can get them on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there isn't that, if it's just a camera taking a picture of the vehicle, then it's got to be like a civil fine, essentially.
Right, goes after the owner of the car.
Right.
Like they do in the thruway now, where we all get tickets when you're speeding through a speed zone. They take a picture and they send you a ticket in the mail.
Yeah,
There you go.
precisely.
Right,
Precisely.
same
And I
thing.
think
So
that comes
so
down
it's
to some
still,
court
so you
appeals
still
law.
can go after the owner of the car.
Yep.
Legally is what I'm trying to find out, but we just don't say, we can't enforce it because we do have a picture of the license.
Well,
Yes.
or no?
you can go after the owner of the vehicle.
Correct.
But it may not be the driver of the vehicle.
I understand that. I understand that, but still, if the owner gets the ticket,
Yes.
knowing that his car was used to go something
Right.
else, that's gonna go back to the people that borrow his car. I mean,
Maybe.
wait a minute, that's what I'm saying.
They may not be able to borrow.
If we don't do anything, then they never get money, and people just keep doing it. What's that?
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna happen.
And certainly my position isn't you should or should do anything in particular.
Right.
I'm not saying that it's a bad idea. All I'm saying is that I don't think my office would be the office that would be in a position to prosecute or enforce those fines.
Okay.
So I would like to go back to the towns can hire their own prosecutors. So if somebody gets a ticket, they can plead by mail, and then your office would set a fine and an offer if they agree to it. If that individual shows up on the arraignment date on their ticket to court,
Yep.
you're not there, and they want to plead not guilty, what happens? And there's no prosecutor there.
Well, so if it depends. So if it's Claverick or one of the towns that has the town attorneys.
No
doing
town
it,
attorney.
okay, well then it's actually been happening this way for years now,
Right.
before me and since, is the judge takes the not guilty plea and then sets a trial date. The clerk then sends a request to my office, and as a courtesy to the court, essentially, we then send subpoenas to the law enforcement in order for them to appear for trial.
So in the event that an individual shows up in court not knowing that they they knew they could have pled, but they didn't. At that point, their only option is to go to a bench trial?
No, because then they're also given information by the court. So the courts will
They
initially.
can still go back to you?
Yes, oh, absolutely. They can
Okay,
still,
okay.
and actually I've given my attorneys like really nice sheets with, what do you call the thing that you scan with your phone, the URL?
Yeah, URL code.
Yeah, so that they.
QR code.
The QR code, right, it's got a QR code in it, you can use your phone, go right to the site, so people are told, look, go do this, you're not even gonna have to come back.
Correct. Okay, I just wanted to make sure there was still that.
Because a lot of times it's just the traffic, only a few courts have separate traffic nights, most of them do traffic on the same night as criminal night.
So why would a town want to prosecute their own? ticket?
With the amount of tickets we were getting, we just weren't catching up. We were way behind. So we had to move it up to do something to try to get caught up,
It's just my perception, at least, is, Claverick and Greenport, they have very, very heavy volume, and that's part of the reason that we couldn't do it anymore.
So does also.
Yes, I know.
We just handle it differently.
But despite sending, Ken Golden and various
Sure,
ADAs on special nights to,
Okay.
there's
Did
no way
that
for us
start
to
just
catch
now
up.
or that's been going on?
We've been doing that for some time now.
Okay,
It's, maybe a year now.
At least, yeah.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. Any other questions?
I just had a quick one.
Sure, go ahead. No.
When you talk about these bus tickets, and they're going through a civil department, what happens if people decide not to pay those fines or whatever it might be from a civil perspective?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know ultimately how those enforcement schemes work. The only reason I know anything about the way Albany does it is that a couple of people in my office got those tickets and they're in Albany, and they come back to me. I know they continue to send you correspondence, but I don't know. I didn't look to see what their legal enforcement mechanism is.
What we found out talking with other counties is there's not a lot of teeth.
Hmm.
You can send the letters out, and if they choose not to pay, there's not.
I don't know if they can file the civil judgment with the county clerk's office like we do with fines for
Yeah.
traffic tickets that don't get paid.
Yeah, but it's very different than getting a VNT ticket where you can suspend somebody's
No,
license.
you can't.
Right.
You
Right.
can't.
And by the way, I don't know if everybody's aware, all the VTL points are going up.
Yes.
In just a
Yes.
few weeks.
Which is scary.
Yep. There's gonna be a lot more unlicensed drivers out there.
But all courts have a lot of uncollected tickets?
Yes,
A huge number. I mean,
Yes.
tens of thousands of
Yes.
uncollected tickets.
It's
I
always
can't
been
believe
that
the
way.
state isn't.
But the scoff law used to really assist in that.
Correct.
Because, excuse me?
It does not.
It doesn't any longer because they don't allow it, but the scoff law worked tremendously. I mean, you'd send out, you get 30-day notice. Mr. Jones, you didn't pay your ticket, please appear in court. You don't appear, you get suspended. They get that suspension notice. They're in court. I don't understand why they took that away. I mean, all it's done is bog everybody down. But anyway, thank you very much. I
Yeah, of course.
appreciate it. Any other questions?
I was just gonna say, the civil judgment avenue works really well. We did that in Ingram. We found we had a ton of outstanding tickets, and we, for a small court, in the order of thousands of dollars that we got back in from transferring them all to civil judgment. So it does work.
And then it doesn't.
And then it doesn't.
We have a stack of those too, so yeah, it's interesting.
Quick question though, I think we talked about this briefly. Where are we at with having Rob look at giving the approval to Dutchess County, or bus patrol to at least
We have to ask them.
prosecute or let them
Yes,
keep
exactly.
going, they have it on these buses. So I
That's
said,
the
right,
second
that's
part of
there.
what I asked Matt earlier, so I'll get to Rob.
I'd like to at least get that, like I said, I want to get that moving, because I know this
Yeah, I
is a
agree.
huge conversation, so at least the two ends of the county can at least take advantage of those that are in operation.
Yeah.
But we have to get out of the motion. I think it goes right up to Livingston, you know, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, it goes all the way to Hudson School District.
Yeah, so.
And so we'll get those Rob on that.
No, you're on.
Yes.
The county has to give the approval along with the school districts for them to be able to enforce it and use it. But right now, they're not allowed to, because the county has to approve.
So that's how we manage the jurisdiction. You give them authority. to
We just give them-
operate in their jurisdiction.
Correct.
We'll put a meeting together, with the committee that was formed with we'll ask somebody from the DA's office to come. We'll ask Rob to come or somebody from his office and hopefully we can get it finalized.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gotta be, the county attorney has to.
Right, so we'll put a date on the calendar. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? So carried. Thank you, everybody.